Yo, mind your fucking business, nigga. Ain't no one talking to you, bro. Listen. Yo, listen. Damn, I've been woke for a minute. Getting checks need a percentage. Getting so lifted. How I'm so gifted. I played in your track, but they told me to skip it. I just been spitting. Look at me back in my ways. I've been on this shit since back in the day. You could not tell me that I did not pay for the sins I committed. Got locked in a cage. Stay in your place. I'm riding the beam, but I won't.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy McQuinn, and I'm back with another episode of the Yup, I Said It podcast, and I am here live at New Wave Studios. If you want to book a session, just hit us up on Instagram at New Waves Guam, or go to newwavesguam.com if you want to take photos, you want to record some music, you want to shoot video, take pictures. We got you. Any forms of entertainment, we got you. Matter of fact, we can even book you DJs. We got DJ Heartless, one of the coldest DJs on Guam. You want to book you a badass DJ for a party, for an event, for a wedding, whatever. Just hit us up and we can make it happen. So, for this podcast, this is a pretty popular request. And it makes sense that I'm sitting in the love seat, because this podcast, we're going to talk about love. Let's talk about love, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about bubbles in the tub. Let's talk about making love. I know my singing voice is off right now because I didn't rehearse. But, so we're going to be talking about my love life. And, you know, I wanted to sit here in the recording booth, you know, somewhere comfortable. And disclaimer, y'all, as of today is July 12th. As of July 12th, I am single. I'm very single. Single as in I'm not entertaining anyone right now. Single as in I don't really have no fuck buddies. I'm not in no entanglement. I don't got no fucking crazy exes running after me. But we're going to get into that. Just wanted to put that out there right away, that I am very single. What's up, y'all? I appreciate the love. Appreciate your love. Not your ninny. I appreciate you being here. Alright, so alright, let's get this thing started, man, about my love life. So, you know, as little boys growing up, of course we didn't like girls right away initially. And I really didn't start to realize I was getting into girls until I was about 10, 11 or so. But I had my very first crush when I was in the 8th grade, right? And this girl was very cute. She was half black, half white. And how we met was so at my junior high school, there was a talent show that went on, and I went to the talent show or whatever. And like after it was over, we were both outside waiting for our parents to come pick us up. So you know, and we just had a conversation. I had no clue who this girl was. I just knew she was cute. And I felt so weird because I wasn't the type of dude that like approached girls and talked to them and that kind of thing. So it kind of came out of nowhere. We were just like flirting. And it felt pretty cool. And I was like, holy shit, like I like this girl. She's cute and she's got a cool personality and she's fun to talk to. And so it got to the point where I started to write her secret admirer letters, y'all. I was writing this girl's secret admirer letters because I know she used to be you know, like in 8th grade and then before you go to high school, if you like took your electives or whatever, you could be a TA or whatever, a teacher's assistant. So she would be like an assistant to the front office and the admin, and I knew the admin lady pretty well, and she was pretty cool. So I would drop the letters to her and be like, hey, give this to I'm not gonna say her name, y'all, because I don't want to be messy. Her name, I'm gonna protect everyone's identity as usual. So I'm like, yo, can you give this to her? And she's like, yeah. And you know, of course she's like, oh my god, McQuinn, that is so cute, you got a crush on. And I'm like, yeah, your boy's crushing. And so I wrote her about 3 secret admirer letters. You know, I wrote like little poems, and it was very cheesy. And long story short, she found out that it was me, I guess through a third party. She found out it was me, so then I just ended up revealing myself. And you know, we talked and let her know it was me, and then she hit me with the very bad news of, oh, that's really sweet of you, but I have a boyfriend. Well, of course you do. You're an attractive broad. Of course you got a fucking boyfriend. But I mean, obviously this is junior high school, so you know, boyfriend. They probably were together for a couple weeks, you know, the standard junior high school relationship. So that was my first crush in 8th grade. I mean, it wasn't a heartbreak, but it was more along the lines of a rejection, but not a cold-hearted rejection. All right. So my first crush was in 8th grade. I got to high school, and I don't know why, but I really started to have a thing for Asian girls. I really started to have a thing for Filipinas, and as strange as it is, growing up in LA, growing up in South Central, I wasn't around Asian people. You know, I was mostly around Black and Hispanic people. I didn't really start to come around like Caucasian, Asian, and, you know, other races of people until I moved to the suburbs. So I always thought that, you know, as ignorant as we are, I always thought they were Chinese or Japanese. I didn't even know what a Filipino was, like, until I got to high school. And I was like, holy shit, this girl's fucking fine. I had a crush on this Filipino with like long hair. But, you know, we just ended up being good friends throughout high school. You know, we're still friends to this day. You know, she's kind of like a sister to me. But I really wanted to talk about my senior year because that's where it all really mattered. You know, all my other years, like, didn't really mean much because I didn't really date. Except for maybe sophomore year. I got my first kiss my sophomore year. But I didn't date. But I had my first kiss. And she's a model now, which is pretty cool. Like, she's a model. She's verified on Instagram. She got over 100,000 followers. You know, she's doing her thing. And, you know, I always knew she was going to be great. I always knew she was gonna be awesome because, you know, why not think that about your friends and the people that you care for, right? But, all right, so let me get to my senior year. Because my senior year, my goal was, I didn't want to be the guy in high school to have never been in a relationship and to never have a girlfriend. So, for some reason, not only graduating high school was a goal, and to, you know, obviously get all my credits, but trying to at least get my first girlfriend was a goal. Because by then, you know, my senior year, I had just turned 17, and right after my 17th birthday, I signed up for the Navy. So I already knew I was going to go to the military after high school. So my goal was to, before I graduate or before I go off to boot camp, let me get a girl. Like, let me at least have that. Let me be the guy that, at least I had one girlfriend in high school. Because in high school, I was pretty popular. You know, my personality that you guys see now, it was very similar to that in high school. Like, I've always been the loud, larger than life, making noises and all that shit. I was always that dude in high school. So, you know, and my goal is like, yo, if I'm like a very popular guy, why can't I get a girlfriend? You know what I mean? Like, why can't I get at least one? You know, I didn't really care about sex and all that stuff. That was kind of, it didn't really matter. I just cared more so about trying to get in a relationship. So it comes down to prom. And I was talking to this girl, and, you know, I asked her to be my prom date. And she agreed. And mind you, this was my only prom because I didn't go to prom my junior year. And my senior prom, it turned out to be a fucking disaster. So, I mean, prom, we had a good time, all in all. We had it at, our prom was at the Skirball Cultural Center in Westwood. So it's basically like the nice-ass part of LA is over by UCLA. And wow, the place was fucking gorgeous. So after that, we dancing, and they're playing that one song, A Moment Like This. And, you know, you slow dancing and all that shit, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, this right here will be like the perfect moment to go for the kiss, right? And I went for the kiss, and she kind of like backed away. And I was just like, oh. Kind of had to play it off like, you got to play it off and hope nobody sees you. Just sitting there like, and he's just kind of looking around, hoping nobody see you get the shit curved out of you. Oh, man. So, and after that, you know, we went to my friend's house because her parents, like, made breakfast for us and stuff. So, like, we were all just there chilling. She said she was going to go home and change and then come back, but we already know what happened. I basically got ghosted. And here's the fucked up part, guys. So right after graduation and all that stuff, right after that, you know, I find out that she was dating one of my close friends. Like, all this was going on behind my back while I didn't know. So she basically did what she did on some real clandestine shit, and that was like one of my first like real big heartbreaks, because it's like, damn, not only did you reject me, but you fucking on my homie? What the fuck? And that really had me feel some type of way, man. And so after that happened, like, yo, I went to boot camp like so pissed off about all that stuff. But enough of that. You know, my prom tragedy. Patty had the worst prom of all time, in my opinion. You know, your prom date's fucking your homeboy. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But all right, now to the next. Let's talk about my time in the Navy and me meeting my future ex-girlfriend, right? So we met at UC San Diego, because I would go up there to visit one of my friends who I went to high school with, and I met her through her, you know, because they happened to stay in the same dorm. And, you know, we met, we hit it off, we hung out a couple times, and, you know, one thing led to another, and now we're dating. And this is my first girlfriend. Now I'm 20 years old, and I'm like, finally, I got one, you know, like, I'm 20 years old, but it's better late than never, because I'm right on cue, baby. See what I did there? Right on cue. And so that was my first relationship, and honestly, I'm surprised that it lasted as long as it did, because we were very different. We had a lot of differences, you know. She's this good Christian girl, you know, from a traditional family, and I'm just some dude from the projects, basically. You know what I mean? So how this good Christian girl fucking is attracted to this guy from South Central with an over-the-top personality? I don't know, but somehow it worked. And, you know, we were always different in our beliefs and our perspectives, but we still cared about each other at the end of the day, you know? And, I mean, there was some long distance that happened throughout it, because, you know, I joined MSC to become a merchant marine, and I, you know, started going back to doing like the same thing I was doing in the Navy. So I was away from home, deployed, and all that stuff, and the long distance became kind of difficult for her, you know, because she wasn't used to dealing with that kind of stuff. You know, I was, with being in the Navy and you know, being away from home, I was able to adjust to it. It was simple for me. But her, it didn't really work. So, very long story short, you know, I'm having dinner. You know, I just got back from an underway, and, you know, she messaged me. She was like, hey, can we talk? I'm like, all right, yeah, sure, let's talk. You know, it's been a few days. I've been gone out to sea. And, you know, she basically hits me with the whole, you know, I just want to thank you for everything, for being such a great boyfriend, and thank you for everything that you've done, you know, for the last 5 years. But, you know, I was thinking about it last week, and, you know, it took me a while to just really think it through. And, you know, I think it's just best if we break up, we go our separate ways. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, she wanted to talk to me because she ain't heard from me, you know, for a couple days, and we was gonna chop it up and catch up. Nah, man, your boy got dumped while I was eating Texas cheese fries. Ain't that some shit? Let me tell you, man, that was fucking terrible. You know, to get dumped at dinner. But, you know, I understand where she was coming from, because, you know, it was our differences, the long distance, you know, and we were in completely different directions in life, you know, and obviously I probably wasn't for her, and she probably wasn't for me. And I'm okay with that. You know, I've grown to accept that over the years, and, you know, move forward from it. And, you know, after the breakup, you know, being a merchant marine, you know, I tried to do a little dating here and there. I tried to. But a lot of the times when I would encounter people, it was always my lifestyle. It was always my career. And that was like a deal breaker for most people. because of the constant traveling and the moving around, you know, and they're like, oh, you're not going to be here. You know, I want to, you know, date somebody who's actually going to be here. You're not going to be here, so I can't do it. And that was just like the deal breaker. And that was it was challenging for me to get back into the swing of things, because I'm like, fuck, don't nobody want to fuck with me because I'm never home. Nobody wants to deal with the long distance. And, you know, like I say, I can't blame them for it, because long distance is very hard. You know, I'm kind of doing long distance right now. I'm not dating, but like just being away from my family, being away from, you know, all my close friends in the States and stuff. So yeah, I understand that this shit is challenging. So once I realized that, okay, nobody wants to really fuck with me right now, so I became emotionally unavailable. You know, became emotionally unavailable, and I kind of just said fuck it. And this kind of led to me going down the rabbit hole of the infamous hoe phase, y'all. And it really worked because I was on another ship and we were deploying in like Southeast Asia in the Middle East. Hey everybody, thank y'all for joining. You know, I'm like, okay, we finna be in Asia, we finna be in these different countries. Oh, okay, so bet I'm really not finna be I'm just finna do me. In a nutshell, let's just call it that. I'm finna do me. Interpret that how you want to interpret it, but that's all I'm gonna say is I was doing me. I was out there fucking them hoes. Yup, I said it. Look, I gave it away. But you know, I'm single. I'm single, so I'm not wrong for doing that. And it's not like I was trying to lead anyone on or even make it seem like I was looking for something serious. You know what I'm saying? I was always honest about my intentions. And you know, so I kind of did me for a little while and doing my own thing. You know, I eventually quit the Merchant Marines and I moved back to Guam. You know, I moved back to Guam during this freaking pandemic, right before Mother's Day, right before we went to PCOR 2. And when I moved back to Guam, I knew it would have been a little easier because now I'm somewhere where I'm settled. Because for the last like decade or so, I was constantly moving around. I was in this country, I was in that country, I was in this state, I was in this town, I was here, I was there. Constantly moving around, so it was hard. Like now I moved back to Guam, now I'm here. I'm somewhere stable. So it probably shouldn't be as challenging to actually date and to actually find someone and have something consistent going, right? But you know, I don't know. I beg to differ, and we're gonna just get into it. So after I moved back to Guam, you know, I put myself back on the market, and I met a couple girls here and there. You know, your boy was on Tinder. I was swiping right, swiping left. You know what I'm saying? I had the gold account just so I could see who liked me and shit. Fuck it, I'm being honest. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. Your boy had the gold account. I could afford it. I was like, fuck it, I'll just get the gold account so I can see, so I can swipe left on all these trannies that keep liking me and shit. No, I don't do that. Okay? No. I still got love for y'all, but not gonna happen. We can be friends though. So you know, I met a couple girls here and there, and for the most part, for some reason, I felt like a placeholder. I felt like I was kind of being used as a stepping stone, because most of the girls that I hung out with and that I had a vibe with and that I'm not going to disclose whatever happened between us, whether things got physical, we hooked up, whatever. Either way, we hung out and we enjoyed each other's company. And it seemed like every time, you know, I'd hang out with somebody, or, you know, we'd be talking for a little bit or whatever, they get booed up damn near immediately. So I feel like fucking Good Luck Chuck, because it's like, damn, every girl that I link up with or hook up with, they get fucking booed up. They go find another dude. And I'm just like, fuck. You know, and that sucks, you know, just, you know, feeling like a placeholder or feeling like someone's stepping stone. Now, mind you, I'm very happy for them. I'm happy that they found their person, and I'm happy that they're happy, you know, or whatever they put on social media, or whatever front they try to put, whatever the fuck. I don't know, I don't care, it's none of my business. But, you know, one of the worst feelings ever is to build somebody up and see someone else get all your glory. Like, imagine you bust your ass and you working real hard at a job or whatever, and you do that shit, and somebody else gets all the credit for it and somebody else gets all the glory. Yeah, so, you know, that shit sucks, and it made me question myself. You know, it made me question, like, damn, am I good enough? Like, why does this keep happening? Like, I think I'm pretty solid. You know, I've been honest. You know, Alright, I'm gonna shoehorn this one in, because at a time, you know, everybody, I feel like, does what's best for them in their best interest to protect themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you still have people out there who go do it the fuck boy way, or the ain't shit bitch way, or however you want to call it. You know, this time around, I actually tried to do it the right way, quote unquote right way. Like, okay, if I'm talking to you, I'm not going to entertain anybody else, or I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. I try to do it the morally correct way, however society wants to portray it. And even then, I ended up looking stupid. And I said, you know what? I see why, you know, I became a firm believer in just doing me until I know it's real. You know? And, you know, it just, you know, made me question, like, dude, you know, after that last heartbreak in 2020, because that was kind of what it was, you know. I was the stepping stone for someone else. And after, you know, me putting myself back out there in such a long time and allowing myself to be vulnerable to this person, only for them to kind of do that, I was like, wow, what the fuck? I did everything right, and this is how it ends? So you get your happy ending, and I sit here a fucking shell of myself because I opened my heart up to you, only for you to do that. But hey, such is life, right? You know, dealt with that heartbreak for a while, and, you know, and that's what stemmed revenge season. That's what inspired revenge season. You know, I started to really get back into the gym. Started getting on my I started CrossFit, because it's such high intensity, and honestly, I don't like to be in the gym that long. I just like to get it over with. In CrossFit, you do CrossFit, you're only gonna be in that motherfucker for like 45 minutes. And yeah, it's gonna be intense, it's gonna be tough, but you're gonna get a great workout in. So, you know, I started to do that. I started to really focus on my podcast and really started to focus on growing the YupISaidIt brand along with my Happy Hearts brand, you know. And I did that. And with that, you know, improving myself, you know, getting back to me, I still would try to put myself out there. You know, I still tried to, you know, pursue. If I see someone that sparked my interest, I still try to pursue, you know, to no avail. And I've always been very honest about whatever I'm doing. You know, I always would let them know that, hey, I'm open-minded. You know, I'm down for whatever, as long as you're honest, and as long as there's a good vibe. Because that's all I care about. Is I just care about a good ass vibe. I care about somebody who I can be real with, and I care about someone being real with me. That's whether we just be fuck buddies, or we have an entanglement, or we have like some exclusivity without the label of a relationship, or you do you and I do me, and we just like meet in the middle, friends, benefits, relationship, whatever the fuck. I'm open-minded, but let's just be real, you know? That's all. Let's be real. Like, I'm not opposed to none of this shit. I'm not opposed to a monogamous relationship. I'm not opposed to an open relationship. I'm very open-minded. I just want you to be honest. Because I see so many people lying over little shit and lying about nothing. All this can be easy as long as we're honest with each other. And a lot of the times is people aren't honest with themselves. And that's why their relationships and that's why their shit always goes south. Because they're not honest with themselves first. You know, yes, be honest with your partner, but be honest with yourself too. You know what I mean? If monogamy isn't your thing, be fucking honest with yourself and be like, yo, it's not my thing. If you don't want somebody who you're dealing with to be fucking with somebody else, and honestly you don't like that, let that be known. Don't be so passive. Just be honest and be open about it. And if it's real, they're gonna align to that. But if not, yo, there's 7 billion people in the world. Why the fuck are you harping over one? The universe is gonna always work out in your favor. You just have to be able to trust it and just live your life and try to be the greatest you. Because energy match energy, and if you're on a high vibration, guess what? You're only gonna attract high vibrational type of people. But when you entertain that toxicity, when you entertain negative energy, and you have a bunch of negative thoughts and negative mindset and a negative lifestyle, you're gonna attract negative shit. That's why a lot of y'all are in shitty relationships. That's why a lot of y'all have shitty boyfriends. That's why a lot of y'all have shitty girlfriends. Because your vibration ain't right. You gotta get back to you, fam. You gotta make sure you're good before you go and try to be with somebody else. You gotta make sure you good enough for yourself. Cause a lot of y'all look for happiness and look for all that through other people. And you're looking for that through somebody who else is, they're fucked up too. They're just as miserable and fucked up as you are. And y'all try to come together and make it work? Nah, dog. That's not how it works. Now y'all are both on a downward spiral. You gotta just focus on yourself and be your best you. And the right person to come along. Now, don't take this as don't try to pursue, because I'm against that shit. I'm against the let it come to you. If any of y'all ever let anything in life come to you, you're gonna just be sitting around waiting. Trust me. You're not gonna wait for a fucking job to come to you if you need to go to work and you need to pay your bills and rent is due. You're not gonna wait for somebody to knock at your door and be like, hey, you wanna come to work tomorrow? No, you're gonna get your ass up, you're gonna go fill out applications, and you're gonna go try to get that damn job because you know you gotta make ends meet. Same thing. Now, I'm not saying don't go chasing after it, but if you see somebody that you're probably attracted to, pull up. Pull up. The worst that can happen is that they can say no. But don't not try. Just don't make that your life. Don't make that your priority. You know what I mean? Just live your life of social abundance and do your shit. If you meet somebody, pull up and be like, hey, you know, who knows? You might, if it doesn't become something deeper relationship, you might make a good friend. They might know somebody. She might have a homegirl. Or, you know, he might have a homeboy. And y'all probably have way more common than, you know what I mean? And it may work that way. You know? So what now for me? What now for me? I'm just going to let the universe decide what's for me, you know, and I'm going to let what's for me be for me. You know, of course, I'll still pull up here and there or whatever, but I'm just going to continue to chase my dreams, chase my goals, and continue to make this the most electrifying and entertaining podcast on Guam. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to keep my head down and just continue to work, you know. And then any ladies, if y'all watching this Instagram live, if you want to come fuck with a real one, you know what I'm saying? My birthday coming up. I would like a little boo for my birthday. Little birthday boo. You feel me? Would love me a little birthday boo. I ain't had a birthday boo in a long time. Shit, since like 2014, I ain't had a birthday boo. Because I was here on Guam for my 25th. And, you know, my other half, my ex, was back in the States. But I digress. But anyway, thank you for tuning in to me talking about my love life and lack thereof. This has been another episode of the Yup, I Said It podcast. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and on IG at Yup, I Said It pod. And my podcast is everywhere on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms. And subscribe. So that way you'll never miss out on the most electrifying and entertaining podcast on Guam. Yup, I said it. Y'all have fun, love life, and love yourselves. Peace.